Florida State and Georgia Tech Saturday night in Charlotte for the ACC Championship. I'm Jeff Fischel with Riley Skinner and Dorsey Levens, two ACC greats. Hey guys, help us break down this game. First of all, Dorsey, who has the advantage on offense?
I'm going to go with Florida State having the advantage on offense because they have a more balanced attack. We know what E.J. Manuel can do at quarterback. On the outside, he has two exceptional receivers in Rashad Green and Calvin Benjamin. In the backfield, you have Devontae Freeman and James Wilder Jr. That group collectively averaging over 200 yards a game rushing. They're just more balanced than Georgia Tech. I'm going to go with Florida State.
I'm going to go with Georgia Tech, but here's why. Because they're so unique in what they do. It doesn't matter really what kind of defense you play against. The offense, it's like a well-oiled machine. You just got to start it up and let it run. This is an offense that's run for almost 3,600 yards. And when Tevin Washington and Vad Lee, when they start making the right decisions in that triple offense with the give to the fullback, the pull, the pitch to the running back, it becomes so hard to stop, and that's why they're able to put up so many points. And I think the problem is that Florida State had been so focused on playing Florida last week, they haven't had much time to prepare for this offense. And like anybody will tell you, when you don't have a lot of time, that's what makes this offense so hard to stop and why they're able to put up so many points.
Okay, that's offensively. Defensively, I'd have you guys debate it, but I think we both agree. You guys both agree, right? Florida State, one of the best defenses in the country. Georgia Tech has given up a ton of yards and points, so you guys agree defensively. Florida State, huge edge.
Absolutely.
Okay, coaching though. Dorsey, which side has an edge, perhaps an advantage with coaching?
When it comes to coaches, I'm going to go with Paul Johnson from Georgia Tech for the simple fact of what he's done this season. These guys were 2-4 just a few weeks ago. Now they're bowl eligible once again. Remember, he had to fire his defensive coordinator, Al Groh, about the same time they were in that losing streak, if you will. So he's got these guys back together. He's got them focused, and because he's done that, he's my coach.
He has been pretty amazing to see how he's been able to motivate that team and get them playing for something after those losses. But I'm going with Florida State, and I'm going with Jimbo Fisher. And here's why, because this is a guy, if you see a couple weeks ago, he was so angry at these BCS rankings. They've done what all they can do to win the football games the way they can, and that's very dominantly. And I think he wants to come out and prove a point. All he wants to do is prove these BCS guys wrong, make a statement that they're one of the best teams. I think he's going to come out, have his guys fired up. He knows all this talk about the BCS doesn't mean anything if they can't win the ACC championship. I think he'll have them ready.
Okay, so we've talked about offense, defense, coaching. Is there an X factor for either of these teams? Dorsey?
For me, the X factor is going to be quarterback Vad Lee from Georgia Tech. He's the most athletic out of two quarterbacks, and he and Tevin Washington. He has to have an outstanding game running the football, but more importantly, throwing the football. When Georgia Tech can throw the football, they're almost impossible to stop.
No, I agree. I think Vad Lee throws the ball a lot better than Tevin Washington. He provides a huge spark. But my X factor in this game is going to be the special teams. And games like this, with the magnitude of an ACC championship, special teams is what can help turn a game one way or the other. And both of these guys have big play capability players, and that's with Georgia Tech and Jamal Golden, the return specialist, and then Rashad Green for Florida State, the great wide receiver. When he gets the ball in his hands in a punt return situation, he's already taken it to the house twice this year. He's got an opportunity to really spring this game wide open. So I think that's the X factor.
Okay, guys, quickly, who do you think will win? Dorsey?
I'm going to go with Florida State. I think they're just too balanced offensively and defensively. They're in the top 10 in the country in both of those categories. They're just going to be too much for Georgia Tech.
I'm going to agree with Dorsey. I think the speed, the athleticism, the size, the strength, Florida State, I mean, check in every category. I know Georgia Tech's got the triple option, but I think Florida State wins this.
Who do you think will win the big game? Tweet us at the ACCDN. We'll have special coverage all week, including Saturday night, a live show 6 to 7 o'clock here on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.